Okay. We got a video to play here, Chris, if you don't mind, Bills. Showcasing this exact topic right now, and it's what she actually says in the video. Shout out to Replo Rants, by the way, on
He was like,
Instagram.
it's getting late. Do you want to come back to my place? And I was like, sure, but I'm not going to sleep with you. Like, that's not happening. And he was like, that's totally fine. Just come over. And I was like, cool. So I go to his place. He respects my wishes. He's so nice. He cuddles me all night. And I'm like,
bruh,
are you like what? And like, I just wanted him to like try, and then for me to be like, no, you know what I mean?
Why is the music so dramatic?
I wasn't gonna sleep with him. They just now I feel ugly.
I mean,
And you're like,
congratulations to that
That's a
guy.
big confusion
Now,
there.
I don't know if this is real or just like a joke.
Okay.
I think
get
that's
it.
real.
But if it's a true story, ladies, thoughts on
was
this
trying to
actual
test
video? What are your thoughts on this?
Test the waters.
I mean, yeah, sometimes guys can think that. Like, I don't know, they get frustrated. They think the girl is like for him, and then she's like, no, nothing's gonna happen. They're like, are you or something?
No, that's not what she
No,
said.
no.
They cuddled all night. And then she was like, why aren't you trying to have sex with me?
Yeah.
That's what happened. And because he did not try, she thought he was a homosexual. That's what actually
She's
happened there.
at fault here.
Huh?
She was the first one who said nothing's gonna happen.
I mean, I'm just living life as a man. I'm going to tell you that's happened to me dozens of times where a girl's like, hey, I just want to let you know nothing's. The reason why I bring this up is because that's what I've seen most often is where a girl's like, hey, I just want to let you know nothing's going to happen. And then something happens. I've just seen this all the time. It's just that you as a man, as long as you don't resist it, you're like, yeah, I'm totally cool with that. And you go with it. As long as time keeps passing, you keep building attraction and then shit happens.
I think she was just trying to put an appearance first, but
Of course,
she
she's
actually
selling
wanted
purity.
to.
She's selling purity. Yes.
And if the vibe is there, it might happen. What about you? Thoughts on the video?
I mean, honestly, like, that girl's just dumb. Like, if you, I mean, like, girl, what do you, I mean, just to call him because he respected your wishes, like, that's just kind of stupid.
That is
It's just like-
that is a good majority of women right now.
See, that video is going to end up on a show like Chris Williamson's show.
Yeah.
It's going to be like, here's why guys are confused. Here's why guys like women want. Guys are afraid to approach already. They're already like they got the approach anxiety going for them. Then they're worried they're going to get a charge on them for pushing past this. And then they see a video like this, and she's like, "Are you?" And it's like it's confusing as fuck to these guys.
Yeah, that's a good point. What about you? Thoughts on the video?
Well, honestly, females who do that, I feel like they be testing dudes to see whether if they like would try to do something and if they would like try to do something, they would be like, see, now you didn't even listen to what the hell I just said, so I don't even want to do nothing with you.
But I think he would have had sex with her if he had tried. That's what she was intimating. Yeah.
Do you think that she liked the guy at all, or no?
Had to.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why
You
would
think
she
so?
go to him in the first place?
Yeah, that's a good point.
Doesn't make sense.
That's a very
You know, who she is doing that video is not who she was in the moment when all that shit
Thank
went
you.
down.
That's exactly right.
Yes, she's thinking clearly now.
Yeah, exactly.
apparently.
And I
thinking
like
about her
who she is now is frustrated with the shit that went down because of who she was at that
she
time.
wanted some dick.
There had to have been a reason why she would have said, you know, well, you can come back to my place, but we're not fucking. Do you think she premeditated that?
No,
Like,
no,
I
it's-
want him to push past it, so
I
he'll
want them
try
to
to
answer
fuck me.
first, and then we'll
Yeah,
give
okay,
our takes.
for sure.
What about you? What do you think about that
I think
video?
it's nice that he just respected her, so he's a nice guy.
There it
But
is.
hold on, be honest here though.
She's like a bitch, like, you're gay.
If
Doesn't
you're
make sense.
her and you do want to make it happen, and he's like just sitting there cuddling you, wouldn't you
Yeah,
be
but
like?
she told him, like, I don't want, like, she put a boundary, you know, with him. So he just respected the boundary, that's it.
But let's be honest here. How many girls actually want a boundary to happen versus just saying it like, oh, you know, you can't do nothing with me?
Yeah, but, like, sometimes we're, like, not ready, you know?
I agree.
At the beginning of the relationship,
Yeah.
you just want to know the person.
Okay. What about you, Miss
Josie.
Ready to Rumble?
Oh, juicy. Personally, I feel like that's why females nowadays, that video showed me why females nowadays cannot find a real man. Like, generally, you know how, as a dancer and a model, you know how hard it is to find a man who respects you.
Yeah, of course.
Like that, like, it's mad.
I know.
It's mad hard. Like especially in Miami, finding a man to respect you and your wishes.
So you're saying it's her fault because of the way she
I feel
is acting?
personally, like I said about her,
Is she
I feel
ruining
like
things for you?
she really does. Like you're like,
This
girl,
woman-
you're
this woman
mad.
in blue
Like
is a
how do you
misogynist.
say like personally?
This is
If I
such
tell a
misogyny
guy
here.
like, oh, I don't
Yeah.
want to do nothing, it got to be like, oh yeah, because me. Firstly, I'm not the type to do anything with everybody that I meet.
that's
Like,
cap, bro.
if it's
That's
somebody
cap.
I genuinely mess with, like, if
cap,
I want to
bro.
put you to a test for real, that's not a test I'll put you to. Because
Right.
in reality, watching the video, that's something you wanted. That's something you apply and you wanted it. So by you mentioning that you did not want it, and by it not happening, you calling him. That's what you call an ungrateful female. You have a male that's actually respecting your wishes. Females die for that nowadays. Like some man,
Dude, this is
you'll
logic. I love it.
You'll be like, oh, I promise.
EBT is strong with this one.
I promise. It be multiple times.
Yeah.
It's multiple times I done met females. I done went through situations myself.
to the chat.
Like I be like, oh, I don't want to do nothing. And this dudes are still like touch on me, rub on me, like.
Yeah, we know.
For if I ever.
Wait. Juicy.
Let me finish.
Juicy.
I feel what you said.
Your
As a
IG's
stripper,
juicy. You got nose piercings. You got long ass
I
fucking nails.
got a tongue piercing.
You got tongue piercings. You got braces. Man, come on, man.
I know,
Yeah,
but
man,
you.
come on, man. You're wearing no pants right now.
So
Like what's not pierced?
so for you,
My,
so well, we could
that's
confirm
all
that
the
it is
piercing I don't got.
from what you
that was
said.
pierced too.
So do you,
Not yet. Give
so-
me 2 weeks.
so do you think that she actually liked the guy or no?
Say that one more time.
Do you think she actually like the guy or no?
Honestly, I think she does, but by her doing that and doing a video off of it, I think that's gonna push the guy away personally. Cause if
he's
that's something
already
you
away
wanted up
already.
front, that's
Yeah.
not something you should
Yo,
have said.
someone said Luke Scott.
Okay. What about you?
I think what it was that in the beginning she didn't want anything to happen, but she changed her mind. But if you would have changed your mind, you should have insinuated in some way to let him know that you changed your mind.
Like initiate something like touch
Exactly.
his leg or maybe his other leg.
Exactly.
There's an interesting concept here. You can generate attraction. Women often can't. We find you very physically attractive or we don't. Men have the ability to generate attraction through pre-selection. They can generate attraction through social status. They can generate attraction through humor. There's a bunch of different ways to do it. And in this case, what happened was because this dude backed off and showed a little bit of abundance, then she was like, okay, let's do this now. But because he lives in a culture where when men try to do that stuff too much, they end up in handcuffs. That's why he doesn't go off any further. And she has no one to, she has no one to blame but herself, but also the culture. I think in 1985, I don't think this would have been the story. But in today, this is the way the story would be.
You know,
I think there's a line that you don't want to cross because obviously speaking is respect for her as well. But at the same time, it's almost like if they're saying no, but yes at the same time.
Yes
But-
means yes, no means yes,
Yeah.
no means no, no means it's whatever. It's like retroactively applicable. What I was gonna say is like like I sent you that video, right? I saved that video because I'm gonna use it for my show, but it's a good example of one of my 9 iron rules that's in the first book, right? So it's iron rule of Tomasi number 3, right? Anytime a woman makes you wait for sex or by her actions implies that she's making you wait for sex, the sex is never worth the wait. Perfect fucking example right there, because there's something that's mitigating between there. So it's like, what are you down to? Are you DTF? Are you down to fuck or are you not down to fuck? And it's like, so when it's a mystery, like we've got like pretty much every girl except for Juicy has said, you know,
Juicy is not a mystery.
I would never get into that situation in the first place. I would never even say something like that because there's nothing that was mitigated. It's like if I want to get with the guy, I'm going to get with that guy. If there is some reason why that woman is making you wait, it's because there's some mitigating circumstance. There's something that's either she's got a better offer that's like, you know, that she's waiting to see if it pans out or something like that, or else she simply is wanting to wait.
I think in that scenario it could be 2 things. Well, multiple things, but I think 2 main things. Either she's smashing somebody at the same time meeting you,
Certainly.
and she doesn't want to actually like get that up until she knows for sure you're that guy, or she's playing games. So you know what? Let me see what he's about. And granted, that's a fine line because you don't know what she actually means until you know the game itself.
Okay, so men get their validation through compliance, which leads to sex. Women get their validation from attention, which leads to resources. When she has the guy cuddling and not having sex with him, she's getting 100% of the benefit.
Emotional investment. Yeah.
She's getting total attention and validation from him and not giving up sex. This is also the reason why long distance relationships don't work, is because a woman can get all the attention from FaceTime, but the man does not get sex. And so that's why it doesn't happen that way. And in this case, she was getting so much validation. To some women, attention is like crack. Like they just want attention seriously. So not only did she get attention and validation from the guy who cuddled with her all night and didn't have sex with her, then she made a video about it and it went viral and she got even more attention about it. Yeah. So it's just this necessity for attention that some men have a necessity for attention and some women get validated by sex, but most women get validated more by attention.
And the reason it goes viral is because enough women that resonates with enough women that she gets that attention in the first place. I was going to, just to tag something on here, is when you get into, like, if you get friend zoned as a guy, it's basically all emotional investment and no sex.
Yes.
Whereas if you're a guy and you're in a fuck buddy situation where you have friends with benefits, it's the reverse of that. It's all sex and no emotional investment, and
But this is modern day dating. Think about it.
Sure.
Tinder, Bumble.
Sure.
You match with a chick, and she says, "Just so you know, before we go on a date, in a message, nothing's happening." Then you go on a date with a girl. She likes you. The vibe is there. Things happen, and it's almost like, okay, if you're a guy that doesn't know what women are not experienced with women, you're like, oh, you know what? Let me just listen to what she said because 100% it's what it should be. But in their mind, it's like, yo, let me test this guy to see what he's gonna do. But I mean, at that point, you gotta discern what's.
Okay, so like one of the things that I talk about in my book and everything is this is a red pill maxim, which is women break rules for alphas and they make more rules for betas. And when a woman says, well, you can come and hang out, but we're not fucking, that's making a rule for you. Yeah. So somewhere and some level of consciousness, that woman sees you as a beta male, and she's hoping that you're going to push past that. She's hoping she's going to see some sort of command presence from you that's going to push past that. At least in this case, it's almost like buyer's remorse at this point.
I want to caution, though. I think you should also never force a situation like this.
Of course.
No, of course.
That goes beyond the barrier.
That's why I kept saying it's not worth it. It's not worth sex is not worth the wait.
The other thing is when he says she sees him as a beta male, she's just having a feeling. She's not like she didn't read the rational male. She doesn't know what a fucking beta male is. It's not cognitive.
Yeah.
It is totally. This is one of the things like can kind of remove the hate.
It's not in her prefrontal cortex.
Correct. When you realize that all of these proclivities we had aided us in survival somewhere in our ancestry, then that's why you understand women why hypergamy exists, so they can have more attractive children. That's the reason why you understand why men have a higher proclivity for more sexual access, more sexual variety. The reason why is because they get the chance to spread their seed with more women. This makes sense. We see it with other mammals, but for some reason with humans, we can't, like gender studies courses just cannot break through and come to the realization that we're just another animal that acts in the same way.
I do have a question upon the topic to you guys.
Go ahead.
Okay. So my question to you, let me get closer. My question to you,
come over here,
don't do me. But my question to you guys upon the video, if the script was flipped, not flipped, but if you guys were the person that she was talking about, how would you guys feel about that? If she asked you for a certain wish and you respected it, but she also had a problem with it, how would you feel concerning that?
So not sex necessarily, but definitely a lesson that I learned in my 20s and several of my clients have learned is the idea of I did everything she asked for and then she still wasn't attracted to more, or it still wasn't enough. And then you come to the realization that you pay way more attention to a woman's actions than you pay to her words. Right. Because a lot of times her words are things that she needs herself to believe, or she's almost trying to hypnotize herself into believing some of these things, but her actions describe something different. So you pay attention to her actions. And it takes a while. It takes experiences like this before you get to the point where you're like, oh, I need to just pay attention to what she does and not what she says she does. And then that's where
so you think females like that ruin it for like?
I don't know about ruin it.
Like I mean if a dude complaining
if a dude had game, he'd be able to sleep with her.
I'm saying like complaining like that. Do you think that ruin opportunities for like other females? Because like for a female to complain about how guys do what they do, and by us asking them to respect our wishes and agreeing to it, do you think that mess it up for females that actually want that?
No, because the bottom third of men like don't get any short-term sex whatsoever. And so the number of sexless men in this country is pretty high.
Most guys will accept that.
Yeah, most men are very. What you talked about? She came over and smoked my weed and didn't even have sex with me. That's the norm now. The norm is from. Like we said before, the only thing growing faster than the OnlyFans economy is the simp economy. The simps are growing faster than anyone. So because of that, because men are not taught masculine boundaries, they end up getting put into these circles over and over again, and that's what happened. Honestly, if a guy watched that, he might be like, okay, next time I'm going to shoot my shot because I watched that video. So.